What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, I'm going to show you the best builds that you should build to defeat the upcoming 7-star Hisuian Typhlosion raid for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This raid is going to be Tera Fire, but with these builds, it's going to be another easy raid that we can farm for all its good. Of course, guys, like this type of content, enjoy these videos. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam by hitting that join channel member button below. Now, let's break down this Typhlosion. And one is going to have his hidden ability, Frisk. That is not a real ability for raiding, so it pretty much has no ability that we need to worry about, which I absolutely love. Now, looking at its special attack stat, that's going to be the scariest stat, which is going to be 119. That's definitely something we have to respect. For bringing Pokemon that have good special defense, or at least can resist either Ghost or be immune to Ghost, or resist Fire, is going to be definitely imperative for this raid. Now, its HP stat is rather low, 73. It's really not that high, so it doesn't have a lot of good bulk. And when you combo that 73 HP with 78 defense, this is going to be our better stat for us to target in this raid. Not to say that special attackers won't be great, because the special defense is only 85. So yeah, it's better to hit on the physical side, but it's not like its special defense is that much more bulky. Now, Typhlosion is also speed 95, so this is actually going to outspeed a lot of the meta threats here, but not every single one. And we're going to be covering a one-turn KO strat, which we can not care about the speed stat because it's not base 100. Now, let's talk about the moves here. And it's going to be a special attacker because physical attack is 84. If it uses any physical moves, then we got lucky, and we're going to take that as a W. But I do assume it's going to be all special. And the scariest move that Typhlosion has is really Eruption. Tera stab boosted Eruption is going to be a scary thing to face on turn 1. It means you don't want to use any Pokemon that are definitely weak to fire, or you're going to be cooked. And even then, if you do resist, you want to make sure you have a lot of bulk either on the HP side or the special defense side in order to take those hits. Now, its signature move is Infernal Parade, which is a 60 damage ghost move, however has a 30% chance of burning you. And Infernal Parade hits a target that is burned, is going to do double damage, so it's going to be a 120 ghost type move. Now, normal types will be immune to ghost type moves, so might be a good idea to maybe look into some normal types for this raid. Now, I think a Lava Plume, if it has a second fire move, would probably Lava Plume. That does have a 30% chance of burning as well, but it might not have a second fire move, and instead it will just have Eruption. So it has a couple of options for coverage. The first one is Extra Sensory, which is an egg move. Honestly, this move is not scary at all for pretty much any of our threats right now. So if it does have this move, I think that's going to be awesome for us because it's non-stab. And if you're using a Dark-type Pokemon, you'll be immune to that as well. Now, the last two are a little bit scarier. Solar Beam is scary if he sets up Sunny Day. Now, if there is no Sunny Day, then Solar Beam is not going to happen. But even if there is Sunny Day and Solar Beam, we can put up a different weather like the rain to make it take 2 turns and actually turn something that would be a good coverage move into a weakness for the Typhlosion. So I wouldn't be upset if we see Solar Beam, so I wouldn't be afraid to even bring water types because we'll be able to change the weather quickly on this guy. And then the last coverage move is going to be Focus Blast, which is definitely a scary attack, but it is 70% accurate. So if you do get hit by Focus Blast, it's going to hurt a lot, especially if you're weak to it. It may knock you out. However, it has a good chance of missing, especially if we start dropping the accuracy on Typhlosion. Focus Blast is pretty much never going to hit us. Now, there are 3 good setup moves for Typhlosion here. We already mentioned the Sunny Day combo with Solar Beam and even Eruption to further boost the damage. That can be terrifying on turn 0, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But I think, like I said, Rain Dance, something like that will be great for this raid to counter that strategy. Now, Will-O-Wisp is definitely an absolute lock just because this Pokemon has Lava Plume, which has 30% chance of burning us, and Infernal Parade, which has a 30% chance of damaging us, and then doing double damage if we are burned. Absolutely must have. Will-O-Wisp is going to be here. 85% accurate move, which can be a detriment to physical attackers for sure. If you are burned, your attack is cut in half. But if you have like the ability Guts or Flash Fire, or if you're a fire type, you will be immune to that. So there are a couple of options for physical attackers. They don't really have to care too much about this. And then its last move is it's probably going to have Calm Mind to set up, get that +1 special attack and special defense. Luckily, no nasty plot. And luckily, it doesn't really have a way to lower our defenses. It's going to be pretty sweet. Now, starting off with our physical attackers, the first one's going to be Azumarill. And we haven't talked about Azumarill in a very long time. Now, I think Azumarill may be the best physical attacker. I will say this, though. It's probably not going to be the best that you could solo with, as it does have some weaknesses, but it is still a phenomenal Pokemon. And we're going to go Shell Bell with Tera Water, but you can also replace Shell Bell for something like a Citrus Berry for the upcoming Belly Drum. Now, max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature. Huge power is the ability you need, because that attack set of 218 is actually doubled, which is absolutely phenomenal. So this is going to hit like an absolute truck. The best physical water move is going to be Liquidation here. Liquidation is 85 damage, and it has a 10% chance of lowering the target's defense. That will work through shields. So if you get lucky on this, it's going to make this even faster. And Belly Drum is going to be the big reason why we use Azumarils, because we sacrifice half our HP, we get +6 attack. Do that on turn 1, and we can pretty much eat most of the moves that are coming from Typhlosion relatively easily, because we are a nice bulky Pokemon. Of course, we do want some support from our allies, and the biggest thing that beats Azumarill is getting burned. However, we do have Misty Terrain. So you set up a Misty Terrain, we cannot get burned at all. No status effects on our Pokemon. So Azumarill can free go and just hit that Liquidation. Now, we also have Rain Dance here, which is going to reduce the damage of fire type attacks by 50%, but also increase the damage of water type attacks by 50%. So if you are just going like 4 Azumarills, you know, someone could run a Rain Dance, but of course, we're going to have plenty of supporters who will provide the rain, so Azumarill only needs to focus on damage. Now, the other Belly Drum Pokemon is going to be Ursaluna here, which is a really phenomenal Pokemon, and we're going to be giving it Shell Bell with the Terra Ground. Now, we don't resist the fire moves. However, because we are a normal type, we are immune to the ghost moves. And we're going to go max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, and we're actually going to have the ability Guts. Now, this Typhlosion is going to try to either burn us with like a Lava Plume if it has that, or a Will-O-Wisp, and if it does hit us with that burn, our attack is going to get a boost instead of getting cut in half, which is going to be absolutely massive for us. Now, we're going to go for Belly Drum on turn 1, like always. And then from there, you want to either hit the Headlong Rush. You do lower your special defense by 1 stage in your defense as well. Or you just go for an Earthquake. Now, Headlong Rush is going to do a lot more damage. It's going to be stab, super effective, +6. I would probably recommend going for the Headlong Rush and have some online supporters with you. But if you don't want to sacrifice your defensive stats, then go for an Earthquake there. Last move is up to you. I just have Facade here because this is my regular Ursaluna. But all you really need is Belly Drum, Headlong Rush, and Earthquake, and then you're going to be good to go. Now, for my last physical attacker, I'm going to go with Samurott with the Tera Water. And this is going to be Hisuian Samurott too. And it's Water Dark, which makes it immune to any extrasensory stuff. You also are going to resist ghost moves, and you resist the fire moves because you're a water type. So Samurott does have excellent defensive typing for this matchup. Now, our held item is going to be Shell Bell, and we're going max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, and we're going to have the ability Sharpness, which powers up slicing moves. And Aqua Cutter is the move we're going to be using here, which is a slicing move, but this move is going to be getting a big damage buff, and it's going to be stabbed, super effective, and it also has a high chance of critting. So this move is going to, by itself, is going to have a 12% chance of landing a crit, which is going to be pretty awesome. Now, if you do combine Aqua Cutter with Focus Energy, now Aqua Cutter is going to be a 50% chance of critting, which is pretty huge too. You can set up your attack with Sword Stance. In your last slot, it could be Screech. You got a couple other options that you can put in here as well. Now, once again, very similar to Azumarill. If you get burned, then it's not going to be great. You could use a Heal Cheer to get through that too. Not sure how often this thing will burn, but if you have some porters who have Misty Terrain on the field, then you won't have to worry about getting burned at all. So physical attackers definitely going to be stronger, but the burn is definitely a big issue for them. But I think all 3 of these are going to be excellent choices. Now for our special attackers, and all these special attackers, in my opinion, are going to be incredibly strong, especially if you have access to them from Pokemon Home. Now, number 1 is going to be Water Plate Arceus with Tera Water. Of course, I haven't updated mine yet. And Arceus is phenomenal because it has 120 across the board, a very excellent moveset, and you can probably solo with this guy too. So max HP, max special attack, modest nature, and very simple, just like most Arceus builds. Judgment's gonna be water, so that's gonna be huge. Acid Spray to lower that special defense, goes through shields. Recover to get your own HP back, so you don't have to waste your cheers on that. And then Light Screen is probably gonna be your best last slot, as it's gonna protect you from both the fire moves and the ghost moves coming in at you. Now, of course, if you have supporters and who can set up a rain, like with Drizzle as their ability, or something like a Rain Dance, that just makes Arceus even stronger. Now, speaking of the Water King, we got the Water Prince here, and that's gonna be Manaphy. And Manaphy, Tera Water, of course, we're gonna put that Shell Bell on it. Max HP, max special attack, modest nature. Its ability hydration is actually pretty interesting. If it is raining, its status effects will be cured. So if you pair this up with a Kyogre or a Politoed, it's actually going to be pretty awesome too. Now, the reason why we like this Pokemon is Tail Glow is really good. Instead of going to +2, it goes to +3. So it's actually 1 turn faster to getting that max special attack. Surf is going to be your best special attacking option here. You could use Hydro Pump, but it has a good chance of missing. Surf doesn't miss, and I'd rather take a bit of a damage debuff for 100% accuracy, in my opinion. Fake Tears is going to allow you to lower the special defense. Does not work through shields, but it's still going to be great. And if for some reason, if it's not raining and you want to get rid of that burn, instead of using a heal chair, you can use Take Heart. This is like giving you Calm Mind, but also is going to remove any of those status effects on you. So you can set up and heal at the same time. And Manaphy is going to be an absolute beast for sure. Now, for our last special attacker, we're going to go with Kyogre with the Tera Water and the Shell Bell. And of course, Kyogre has Drizzle, which means it's going to rain immediately when it comes out, boosting its own water attacks. Of course, making it on the field that fire attacks are decreased by 50% damage. Be absolutely awesome for raid support, but also you can do a lot of damage because you are a Kyogre. We're going to go max HP, max special attack with the modest nature. And we are such a beast of a Pokemon that we have the move Water Spout, which is just the water type version of Eruption. Now, it's going to be doing damage based on our max HP, so that's why we go to that max HP, further boost the possible damage. And with the rain up, the stab super effective 150 water type move coming in. Of course, you can get like additional boosts if someone hits you with like a helping hand as well, an attack cheer. This is going to do a lot of damage, especially if that special defense was lowered by any sort of acid spray support. Now, once you do take a lot of damage, but you know, for some reason you're not doing a lot of damage and the Shell Bell is not getting you back to full, you can use Origin Pulse, which is just honestly a strictly better Hydro Pump by 5 accuracy. Our setup move is going to be Calm Mind if we have a chance to pop a couple in. And if you want to re-put up the rain without actually dying and coming back, you could use Rain Dance as well. And now for our raid supporters, I'm going to highlight a few of them. There's going to be a lot of raid supporters in general that can work in this raid, but I'm going to select a few that I feel like will be the top of the ones to use here. And number 1 is going to be Umbreon with the Wide Lens. And Wide Lens increases your accuracy by 10% with max HP, max special defense, Calm Nature. And I love Umbreon because 1, it does resist ghosts, but 2, it has both access to Fake Tears and Screech, so you can assist with special attackers and physical attackers, which is absolutely awesome. Now, Screech is going to be 94% accurate because of Wide Lens. Snarl is going to be 100% accurate, and Snarl is going to be Stab, and it's going to lower the special attack stat by 1 on the Typhlosion, which is going to be really great. Now, for your last slot, you have a good flex position here. Helping Hand is wonderful, but you could also use Light Screen here, which is another great choice, or even Taunt. A lot of different moves that you can use here. I think Helping Hand and Light Screen are going to be the 2 best that Umbreon could put in that last slot. Our next supporter is going to be Politoed, who is going to be absolutely great with that rain support. We're going to give it Shell Bell. So its ability is Drizzle, which steps off the rain, just like Kyogre's, and just like Pelipper's. All 3 of these Pokemon serve relatively the same job in a way, but Politoed is definitely for the people who don't have a Kyogre, but also wants a little bit more support action too. And I'll say Politoed is a way better Pokemon than Pelipper for this raid, as it has a lot more special defense and HP bulk too. We're going max HP, max special defense, Calm Nature, and I have Rain Dance on here because the important goal of Politoed is to set up the rain. So if you are still alive and the rain is gone, reset up that Rain Dance. Very important. You have Mud Slap to lower that accuracy, which is going to be absolutely great. Helping Hand to boost an ally's attack, and you can do damage with Surf as well. And for our next supporter, Grimmsnarl. And Grimmsnarl is absolutely fantastic. We're going to have Light Clay on Grimmsnarl. And you want the ability Prankster. This makes it so your non-damaging moves will go first in combat order. which is going to be necessary for some great setup. I would say Grimmsnarl is definitely an elite supporter for this. I would say maybe number 1 or number 2 at the very least. Max HP, max special defense, and we're gonna have lower special attack because we need our attack stat for some spirit break action. So this is the special attacker, and we have light clay, so light screen is necessary. That gives us 8 turns of screens, which is gonna be really great and long, and we can focus on other things. Now we have fake tears, we can lower that special defense and help out all our special attackers. And we also have misty terrain. So if you are running a Grimmsnarl support on turn 1, you're running with some Azumarill, you can prankster misty terrain and make sure any of those Azumarill or those Samurott don't get burned if you don't want them to get burned. So this is gonna be great, especially for that Azumarill, especially for that Hisuian Samurott. So this is gonna be a phenomenal combination of supporter for those physical attackers. And you also have Spirit Break, which does lower the target special attack stat, and it does a lot of damage, 75. So it's going to do more damage than something like a Snarl. Of course, the move is resisted because of Typhlosion's fire, but Grimmsnarl has a really good physical attack stat. So you can just spam Spirit Break, and it's going to be absolutely great. Next up is going to be Alolan Muck. And I do love me a Alolan Muck. This Pokemon is absolutely great because, one, it's a dark type, so it's going to resist the ghost moves. And this Pokemon has a very big special defense stat. Now, you can run Shell Bell or Covert Cloak on this. Doesn't necessarily matter too much. I run max HP, max special defense on it with a calm nature. Acid Spray is going to be phenomenal. Go through shields, lower that special defense. But we also have Screech support. So we are like Umbreon in a lot of ways, but Acid Spray is straight up a better upgrade than Fake Tears. And we also have Snarl too. If you are running this as a Screecher, I guess you can also just put on Wide Lens instead of having Covert Cloak. So that's going to be up to you. I would actually recommend Wide Lens in general over that, just because your Snarls won't miss too. But it's going to be up to you. So Mud Slap is our last move. This move, as I said, lowers the accuracy. It's going to actually help a lot, especially if you get to a point where you can start spamming it over and over again after doing a couple of Snarls, because that affects everyone on the field. Now, our last supporter is going to be Mew. I would not Tera this if it's obviously a Tera that's going to be weak to the Typhlosion's fire attacks. That's going to be up to you what you want to Tera with. I personally wouldn't. And we're going to be going with the Shell Bell here. And max HP, max special defense would be the ideal situation. You don't want to run max defense, but max HP, max special defense. And you want to have a nature that is going to be calm. So plus special defense, minus physical attack. And we have Misty Terrain, which is absolutely great. And we do outspeed the Typhlosion. So this is going to be really helpful so no one gets burned. Acid Spray support is here to lower that special defense. Mud Slap to lower that accuracy. And for this last slot, Pollen Puff for a big heal on one Pokemon, or you can use a Life Dew. That's going to be up to you. So we have a lot of great options for the supporter role. Pretty much most of these are going to be absolutely great. I'll say this, most people already have an Umbreon and Grimmsnarl. I think Grimmsnarl is going to be really awesome for this raid, especially for physical attackers. I do think Politoed is going to be incredibly helpful. Setting up that rain for free is pretty massive. So I do think Politoed is going to be a very necessary Pokemon. And then from there, you can make a decision. I really love the Alolan Muck. It served me really well if you haven't used it. Well, there we have it, guys. Those are all of the Pokemon I recommend for the 7-star Hisuian Typhlosion raid. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section below any builds that you're planning to do. And stay tuned to the channel because we're going to cover the one-turn KO strat very soon too. Anyways, guys, peace out and have a good one.